I wish I could explain to people just how anxious being at a homeless shelter makes you feel. I try to stay the f away from there as long as I can possibly can.
Funny, I also try to stay away from a homeless shelter as long as I possibly can. It's a continued streak, never broken. Shouldn't be that hard.
I went there for dinner and I was just instantly upset as I got my food. This told me what he was giving me was sausage and pasta, only to find out that it was simply just flat noodles with sweet potatoes and walnuts in this grainy f***ing mac and cheese. Just made me feel like you're just wasting food, man.
I went to this house where I'm allowed to live for free, and they gave me free food. Ungrateful child, die in the streets. If you don't want the handouts, stop begging. How about you do something with your life? How about you make something of your life instead of complaining, dragging everyone else down, and relying on the charity of others? It's no one's duty to help you.
Why even bother cooking at all if you're not gonna even try to make something good?
Even if it does taste bad, again, it's free handouts. You're not entitled to this food. You're getting this food because you're down on your luck. You're a loser. You suck at everything and you can't afford to pay for yourself. You look mid-30s and you failed so spectacularly hard that you are now forced to rely on taxpayer-funded free food. It might not be up to your pretentious Richie Rich standards, but you're a homeless bum. You don't get to pick and choose.
And I truly hate those type of people who say, well, if you're hungry enough, you're gonna eat it.
You will. If you are hungry enough, you will eat it. Oh, you don't want to eat that? Yeah, clearly you're not hungry enough. No, that is the case. That is the case. And you know what? You know who gets upset about being told that? Children. Children get upset after being told that. They eat literal cow turds in India, and you're complaining over fucking mac and cheese that's too grainy. Oh, it's too starchy. What are you, food critic? You a food reviewer? You got a blog?
It's insulting to me that we have this chef that comes in and cooks every day and he doesn't even try to cook something fucking delicious or edible. Has a whole fucking kitchen full of ingredients and he just makes the worst possible fucking
Not grateful. Not grateful whatsoever that this chef is coming out to cook this guy a meal. This guy is probably a volunteer. This guy probably doesn't get paid to cook this guy grainy mac and cheese, but he does it anyways because he's like, oh, you know, seeing the look of appreciation on that guy's face, that's just gonna, you know, that makes my day. And this head is like, oh, I really didn't like the taste of this free food that you gave me, actually. I hope you die.
There's so many people there that need so much attention, so they just talk loud as they try to be as obnoxious as possible.
Dude, oh, talking loud and being obnoxious. Who does that sound like? Looks like we got a classic Epson Home Cinema 4000.
They act like they're hard as then they try to use mental health as the excuse, like, oh, I'm autistic, I don't know what I'm doing. It's like, no, you're fucking drunk, you're just being a total piece of shit. No, you can't use the excuse of autism or neurodivergent when you're just clearly intoxicated. To me, there's just so much fucking noise at a homeless shelter. And just being in a men's dormitory at this shelter is the most claustrophobic experience you could have.
He's finding every little thing to nitpick on and complain about. You have found yourself, all right, in the bottom depths of society. You know, I don't know your situation, but I'm gonna make an assumption that it was probably your fault, because you've probably outstretched your resources. You know, people probably don't want to see you, your loved ones don't want to talk to you, or else you'd have a place to stay. You've exhausted every possible resource to the point that you are having to intermingle with the lowest common denominator. But you are the lowest common denominator. You can't have this like pretentious, like holier than thou, like, oh, these people are acting so depraved. It's like, yeah, they are acting depraved. You're not even a rung higher than them. Oh, hey, I'm homeless, but at least I don't people. How is that a W? That's like a boy, like you want to be celebrated for not, like, well, I mean, I'm a bum, but at least I'm not pissed. Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'll remind that. Oh, that's how I'll cope every time I fail at something. Well, I failed at this, but at least I'm not a child predator. Could have gone worse. You have put yourself into this situation. It's your job to overcome it. Instead of complaining, instead of whining, instead of just sitting there crying, you're not persevering in bouts of struggle. You are laying down and taking it.
You got this room full of men that's like 200 bodies deep, bunk beds where everybody's stacked up on top of each other, literally less than 2 fucking feet away, and everybody's got fucking gas. Everybody's got fucking gas, man. When you hear a symphony of farts going off and you're trying to sleep, it's entirely frustrating. It makes my blood boil. When you hear a symphony of farts when you're waking up, it just makes me want to get the fuck out of that room. It's a literal gas chamber, man. It's a literal fucking gas chamber to me.
Dude, I mean, I'm at this point, I'm a broken record, but you've gotten yourself into this situation. And so yes, while your situation might be unfortunate, you know, you might have to deal with a bunch of people's farts that you don't know. You wouldn't have these problems if you had your own place, if you had a job, if you had a stable mindset, if you weren't a bum.
And you know, it's the worst part is I'm suffering less than a Palestinian. Nobody's dropping bombs on me. Nobody's fucking shooting at me. Nobody's fucking starving me. Here in America, what they do is they fucking torture us fucking mentally, man. They try to wear us down. They try to get us to freak the fuck out. Because if you do freak the fuck out, they can just send you to jail. As if to give you two options. Would you rather be in a homeless shelter or would you rather be in a jail?
Yeah, W. Let's just blame everybody else for our problems and not take any accountability whatsoever. That's how you live a successful, fulfilling life, actually. That's how you live a really good quality life, is you just pretend like you're not at fault for anything and you're being specifically targeted. That's what I assume.
Theoretically, I'd rather House of Congress, start fresh. House of Representatives, start fresh. Supreme Court, start fucking fresh.
This absolute degenerate fetal loser. He's acting like he would be able to create anything of substance. He's like, oh, I want to take out, you know, I'm going to take out the government. We're going to replace them. First of all, you wouldn't be able to overthrow anything.
Because we cannot begin to heal until we snip off this fucking cancer that is politicians, CEOs, judges, fucking lawmakers. You know, one thing I'm tired of hearing is that the youth, they don't have a hard work ethic. They're entitled brats. They don't understand what sacrifice is. And from what I see, these kids, they're working hard as and they're not even getting the bare minimum.
They're not even getting the bare minimum. People my age are getting everything they could ever want and more.
Their wages don't guarantee them security. They don't guarantee them shelter. It doesn't guarantee them health care. It doesn't even guarantee them safety. For some reason, the older generation feels as if the younger generation should just slave away for the next 20 to 40 years of their fucking life for nothing in return. And that the younger generation is entitled because they want to reach for more.
They want to reach for the next bag of Cheetos so they can open it and watch Hassan Abi critique League of Legends gameplay. They don't care about creating a lasting legacy, about having children, about starting a family. They don't want to tread a different path. They don't want to experience the world, okay? They don't want to be adventurers, or they do, and they don't want to put in the work.